So, we look at Craighead County first. Today, yesterday, because that was the most recently updated, there were 38 new cases with a 7-day average of 33 and a 7-day average of 0.14 deaths. A year ago, there was 187 cases with a 248 7-day average. And then pretty much in the first year of COVID, where it really became prominent, and that we considered it the year of COVID, there were 43 cases with 52 average and a 1 death average in 7 days. So the first case was in March, and then the first COVID-related death was in April of 2020. Total cases in Craighead County since March 29th is 46,528, and there have been 380 deaths. Next up, we have Arkansas, where the most recent data was on the 24th. There are 527 new cases with a 364 7-day average of new cases, 5.6 average deaths, and 291 hospitalizations. A year ago, there were 7,943 new cases today, but a year ago, and the 7-day average for cases and deaths is 8,834 with 16 deaths, and hospitalizations on this day were 1,850. Words are hard. Then, in 2021, there were 2,485 cases on the 26th of January. Average cases were 1,942 and average deaths were 44. Hospitalizations were 1,057. So there wasn't too much of a difference in the hospitalizations between 22 and 21. We can see that from 21 to 22, there was an increase of 5,458 cases, and that's over there on the right in the pink. And we can also see that even though the cases rose, the deaths decreased. So we went from 44 to 16. First case in Arkansas was March 11th. The first COVID-related death was on the 24th of March. And then total cases are nearing 1 million in Arkansas. So that is 995,199, and total deaths are almost 13,000. Okay, so in the United States, we're going to start from the bottom actually. The total cases are 101,795,726, and there are over 1 million deaths. So our first death was on February 29th of 2020. And the first case was on January 2020. So in the cases from 21 to 22, there was a 533,808 increase. And then from 22 to now, there has been a decrease of 652,673 cases. Hospitalizations have also gone down a lot, as have the deaths. Now we move on to worldwide. There are currently, this is the most up-to-date data today, which is the 26th. On the 23rd, there were 168,950 cases reported worldwide, with a weekly average of 262,116 and a 7-day average of 3,901 deaths. We can see that in 2022, it got pretty bad with the number of cases, but the deaths were still less than in 2021. Between 2021 and 2022, there was an increase in 3,279,533 cases, but in 2023, in the year between January 26, 22 and 3 days ago, it's decreased 3,592,108 cases. So the first case worldwide was found in China on December 31st of 2019. The first death was sometime between January 22nd and 25th. So on Google News, it showed no deaths on the 22nd, but then on the 25th, which is the next data point, was at 16 deaths. Worldwide, there have been 669,457,365 total cases and 6,800,000 deaths. So 15.2% of the worldwide cases are actually from the United States. And as for deaths, the US accounts for 16.3% of those deaths. With this, we can see that the US is number one in the number of cases and deaths overall, and still today. So the second in cases is India with 6.7%, and second in deaths is Brazil with 10.2%. So when we look at the number of cases worldwide, there are 86,095 cases per 1 million people. And then in the US, it's 309,000 per 1 million people. So next in capita for the cases was actually Cyprus at 731,000 per 1 million. Brazil, which is second in deaths, has a ratio of 173,000 per 1 million. And India, which is second in cases, has 32,843 cases per 1 million people. So when we look at the new cases, it's hard to see, I'm sorry. Worldwide, there are 293,658 cases. And so that's 100% of it. And leading in new cases is the United States with 136,283, which is 38.6% of worldwide cases today.